I'm Jammin' Jay. I'm gonna talk about what type of microphone you might need for your setup. Specifically, I am going to talk about a couple types of microphones and different pickup patterns. These are both things you need to consider when buying a microphone. So rather than talk about the most popular microphones, though I will mention them, I want people to be equipped with the right knowledge so that when they're searching for a microphone, they can find the one that'll work best for their setup. I'm gonna start with pickup patterns. A pickup pattern is the way a microphone picks up sound. Basically, this means which direction is the microphone listening to. There are multiple types of pickup patterns, but this is a cardioid pickup pattern. We will say the cardioid pattern looks like a peach. The shape that it's making indicates where it's going to be picking up sound from. For example, this mic that I'm using right now is a Shure SM58. It is a dynamic cardioid microphone. I'm gonna put the microphone right here. This represents basically where it's picking up sound from. So if my voice is centered over top, I'll get the best sound, but it's still able to pick me up relatively well from either side. I'll do this to better demonstrate. Right here, I'm right over top of the microphone. Now I'm over here on the side, and now I'm underneath it a little bit. So you probably can't hear me as well down. But as I come up and I keep talking, I should sound the best pretty much right here, right over top. And that's why I like to keep my microphone at an angle where I'm talking directly into the top of it. Now, hypercardioid and supercardioid microphones have a different pickup pattern, similar to normal cardioid, but they are tighter. This means the pickup pattern doesn't dip down as much and it's more flat. So you'll be able to isolate what's on top, or your voice, a lot better. Razer Siren Mini, which I have right here, has a supercardioid pickup pattern. I will compare these mics later. The pickup patterns that I've described so far are probably the best pickup patterns for anyone who's trying to isolate their voice. That is in podcasting, streaming, maybe YouTube videos. I will note there are a lot of different pickup patterns out there, such as figure 8 or bidirectional, shotgun mics, or basically the kind of thing you would know as a boom mic. There's even omnidirectional microphones that pick up pretty much every direction. The video is not over yet, but if you've watched this far, you might consider subscribing here on YouTube or following me on Twitch. I'll put the link in the description. Now I'm going to talk about condenser versus dynamic microphones. My SM58 is a dynamic microphone, while the Razer Siren Mini is a condenser microphone. Basically, a condenser microphone uses plates inside of the diaphragm of the mic. It converts what it's picking up into an electric signal. It then uses phantom power, which is basically a little bit of extra energy to boost the sound so it sounds correct in its final source. The way a condenser microphone is made is slightly more delicate and more sensitive to sound, so it will pick up a lot of noise that's happening in the room. A dynamic mic is better at picking up a variety of sounds, meaning vocals or instruments or whatever else you would want to record using a microphone. The diaphragm in a dynamic mic will use a coil and a magnet to capture sound. The motion of this coil responds to the sounds that it is receiving and replicates the sound based on that movement. The moving parts inside of a dynamic microphone are extremely durable and they last a long time. There are stories of musicians dropping dynamic microphones like the Shure SM58 out of moving vehicles. And though externally it's a little bit dinged up, it works perfectly fine still. You should ask yourself a few questions if you're wondering what type of microphone you should be looking into. For example, how much background noise am I dealing with? Maybe you're playing a resource-intensive game like Call of Duty and your PC can get a little bit loud, or there are loud fans in the room, or maybe you're recording in the same room with other people, but you really don't want to pick them up. In this case, a dynamic microphone might be best for cutting out background noise, though applying a noise gate filter can help with this on any microphone. Do you want a USB or XLR mic? USB condenser mics are extremely affordable, while a microphone that uses an XLR input is typically going to be a little bit more expensive. Plus you need an interface for it. Or another one, how much are you going to be moving around? If you're staying stationary in one place, a dynamic will do great. But if you want a microphone a little bit further away from you so you have the freedom to move around how you please, a condenser microphone might be the best one. Keep a couple things in mind. The pickup pattern is probably the most important part, because a cardioid or super or hypercardioid will isolate your voice a lot better. Another important thing to note, streaming services such as Twitch compress all of your audio and video and then push it back out to the viewers. So the best, most perfect sounding microphone will be compressed and will not sound as good on a stream, though a microphone that sounds bad will still sound bad. The point I'm trying to make is once you get your sound quality above a certain level, it doesn't really matter because everything just gets compressed and pushed back out to the viewers anyway. It's time to compare these mics. Let's type on my table. I have no filters on either of these mics right now and see how it all sounds on the mic. That picks up a lot of table noise. That picked up all of my keystrokes on my keyboard. Now let's listen to it, but my Shure SM58. I have no filters on either of these mics right now and see how it all sounds on the mic. I definitely think the SM58 sounded better on my voice before I put any filters on it, but it also is picking up a decent amount of keystrokes. Now added voice filters on each of the mics. I have now added the voice filters that I like. Okay. That's honestly not bad. It cut out most of the keystrokes, and that's probably on me. I probably could have made the noise gate a little bit better, but I like how that sounds. I have now added voice filters on each of the mics. I have now added the voice filters that I like. Way better. Wow. Wow. Tell me which one you prefer in the comments. There's not a wrong answer. For what I do, I prefer my Shure SM58, which is a dynamic cardioid microphone, but there are plenty of situations where the Siren Mini would take the cake. If you like to move around your table a lot more, this might be better. But it's all just preference. Dynamic microphones tend to have that more studio quality boomy effect, while a condenser mic might capture your voice the way it sounds when someone is in the room with you. So if you were actually comparing microphones, this guy's $50, this guy's $100, and you would need an audio interface to go with the Shure SM58. I hope this was helpful. If you want to see other videos like this, or maybe something more about how to add the audio filters, leave comments and subscribe here. I stream on Twitch on Tuesdays and Thursdays, sometimes Saturdays, the link in the description, and I'm on Twitter. I'm on Twitter every day. So let's be friends on Twitter. I'm Jammin' J. Thank you for being here. Oh my gosh, this is chaos. I love Red is womboing everyone. It's pretty even so far though. Pink's at 7 lives, red's at 8, yellow's at 8, blue's at 7. Pink is the first one down to